Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So I am not sure what I'm going to call this reading yet, but basically we are going to be looking at the connection between you and your soulmate, divine counterpart, twin flame, your person, whichever label you feel best fits for your connection. And we are going to see what each of your energies are currently towards each other, your thoughts of each other, how you've both been experiencing this connection. We are going to see what energy is currently brewing between the two of you, what energy are you creating together, and how is that going to affect you moving forward. We are also going to see how Spirit is currently helping each of you. So what is Spirit doing to help you on this journey? What is Spirit doing to help your person? And how is Spirit encouraging both of you? Or I could put it, what is Spirit encouraging each of you to do? What does Spirit want each of you to do in this situation? So that's going to be the reading. There are 3 groups to choose from today, and I have a different crystal heart on top of each group. So I'm going to show you each of these hearts up close, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Ruby in Zoisite. Number 2 is Pink Cat's Eye. And number 3 is Opalite. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones. So if you guys chose the Ruby in Zoisite, this is going to be your reading. I will start off by showing the list of everything that we're going to be covering. Like I mentioned in the intro, I don't really know what I want to call this reading yet, so I just wrote what's going on for now. That's basically what we're going to be seeing. So we are going to look at your energy towards your person, your counterpart, what your thoughts of them have been recently, what your experience of this connection has been recently, and same thing for them. We're going to look at their energy towards you, what their thoughts of you have been recently, what their experience of the connection has been recently, and then we're going to see what energy is currently brewing between the two of you. I don't know why I wanted to use the word brewing, but that's just how it came out. And then we will see how Spirit is currently helping each of you. So how is Spirit helping you right now within this connection, and what is Spirit encouraging you to do? How has Spirit been helping your person as well? And what is Spirit encouraging your person to do when it comes to this connection? And then there's also going to be an extended today where we see what your next encounter with your person is going to be like and who will initiate it. We are going to see how you both will feel after this next encounter. And we are going to see 2 possible outcomes for this connection and what would bring about each of those possible outcomes. It could also be that both of them can happen. And then we're going to see any significant time frames or significant places that you should know about pertaining to the connection. So that is the whole reading today. Just before we get into the cards, I wanted to use our pendulum and see if anyone has a message for you. Is there any message for group number 1 before we get into the cards? There's a message from your person's spirit guides, but they are not specifying what it's about. So let's see, what do your person's guides want to say to you before we get into this reading? I just looked up and saw 224, so February 24th could be a significant date. I'm also hearing the word activation. Maybe their guides want to talk to you about an activation that's happened. We have the sun in Leo. So Leo is ruled by the sun. So these hold a very similar energy. Leo season could be significant, or maybe you or your person have Leo placements. Their guides are going to become, maybe they want to become more known to you, I'm hearing. or introduce themselves to you. Like if you aren't familiar with your person's spirit guides yet, they may be wanting to make themselves known. I'm hearing you might know them by name, or you might be noticing that they are more present in your life. They are maybe working with both of you or encouraging both of you to build your confidence in the connection, but also in yourselves overall. And they're encouraging you to be in a sort of main character energy. That's what I feel with the Leo and the Sun energy. I'm also hearing you made them very happy. Something you did in the past made your person very happy, and you made them feel like the main character, which is not common for them, I'm hearing. You made them feel like the star of the show. You made them feel like the most important person. So this could be talking about a past encounter that you had with them where you made them feel really, really special. And they still, even to this day, are very appreciative of that. And they still keep that feeling of joy with them. It could also be something that you sent them energetically. Maybe in a time where they needed it, you were able to energetically send them a boost of confidence so that they could perform well, I'm hearing, or so that they could relax. Like maybe you sent them an energy of relax, you got this, and they're really appreciative of that. Their guides are bringing this message of gratitude, like thank you for lifting up. Thank you for lifting up your person. Thank you for hyping them up. Thank you for making them feel like the star that they really are. That we've been trying to tell them. That's what they're saying. We've been trying to tell your person how cool they are, how amazing they are. And apparently when it comes from your mouth or when you give them that feeling, they seem to really believe it. So I think this person holds you in a high regard, and how you see them or your opinion of them really, really matters to them. Like you can really make this person feel good about themselves. That's so sweet. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna keep these here. I also like that both of these are green because they're from two different sets of dice, and I just happened to I picked them randomly and they just happened to be the two green ones, and then you were also drawn to a green heart. So the color green could be significant as well. That's kind of making me think of divine masculine energy. The sun feels very divine masculine too. Okay, so let's get into your cards. I don't know if this message pertains to your connection, but I just had a strong image of a soul group being kind of scattered. So your soul family might kind of be all over the world, or maybe you're even scattered among worlds, you know, some of you are on Earth, some of you aren't, but there's just a feeling of a soul family being kind of scattered, and perhaps this works to your advantage somehow rather than being all in one place. You might be someone who meets your soul family a bit later in life rather than, for example, growing up all together in the same hometown, in the same friend group. You went to high school together. Maybe you meet your soul family once you get older and sort of leave the nest, I'm hearing. Once you leave the nest and start exploring the world and different places later on in life is when you will meet some of your most cherished soul family members. There could be something about this person's hands too. I'm just thinking of how it's kind of hard for me to shuffle this deck because it's pretty big, and I was like, you would need big hands to shuffle this. So maybe your person has big hands or small, I don't know. There could be just a significant feature about them. Okay, so what is your current energy in this connection? We have the Six of Pentacles and I'm hearing you're grounded. What is your person's energy? The Wheel of Fortune. And what energy is brewing between the two of you? The Knight of Swords. Okay, we are thinking about each other a lot, very frequently. Okay, I'm gonna get some clarifying oracles for this as well. Your energy. Aries. Your person's energy, 11th house. And the energy brewing between the two of you. Waning gibbous. Okay, I actually kind of want to start here with this waning gibbous moon, because I feel like this is saying the most intense energies of this connection are behind you. And that is a good thing. It's starting to become, I think that's why the word grounded was coming to my mind. It's starting to become more grounded, more calm, more mature. And I'm being shown as an example, a contrast between two less mature people, let's just say two teenagers. I'm not saying all teenagers are like this, obviously, who are, you know, they're in a relationship and they're like obsessed with each other, versus a pair of older, more mature adults who are like, yeah, we're just comfortable with each other, you know? So it feels like you're moving into that more sort of comfortable energy with each other, where, for example, maybe you're not really nervous around each other anymore. You don't have obsessive feelings that much anymore. You don't put each other on a pedestal anymore. That's definitely the direction that you're heading into. I also think that the hardest and most intense lessons and the hardest and most intense shadow work that needed to be done in this connection is already behind you. There's a feeling of energies winding down and calming down, and this is a very good thing. You know, you cannot sustain emotional intensity, and highly strung energy is not sustainable. It's, you know, sometimes it's important, sometimes it's even necessary, but you cannot sustain that for a long time because you're going to burn out. So it just feels like things are calming down. And that probably also comes with the fact that you've cultivated more inner stability and more comfortability in your own skin, more security within yourself. There's a distinct message of less volatility within the connection. It's becoming more stable. Your energy, you have Aries, so you're ready to make a move. Group number 1, you're ready to make a move. I just saw 1144. If you did make a move, you would have angelic protection. That is a very high level of protection. I almost want to cry when I say that. It's such an honor to have the blessing and the protection of angels covering your action, covering you as you move forward. And I'm hearing the word endorse. Someone in the higher realms endorses the action you want to take. Even the money falling into the hand, it looks like endorsing. You're ready to make the first move. I'm hearing a lot in this group A, so I wonder if one or both of you are clairaudients or musicians, or you do something with sound. Because a lot of these messages are coming through my hearing. So I apologize if I sound like a broken record and I'm saying like, I'm hearing. Record could be significant as well. Maybe you make records, or someone works for a record company or a record shop or something, or you do some kind of recording of data even. It doesn't have to be like music related. A world record. Anyway, let me let me stop speculating on that. So what I heard was, I am ready and willing to make the first move if I have to. And it's kind of like you're ready, but you're waiting for a sign. And I'm seeing when, like, let's say you lived in an apartment building and you have to go downstairs to get your friend. You're like, yeah, I'll come down and get you, but you have to text me when you're here. It's like that kind of vibe. So you're waiting for some sort of cue from the universe or from your person, maybe. You're waiting for some sort of hint or some sort of opportunity. Something that indicates to you like, oh, that move you were thinking about making, it's time to do it now. So it's not a matter of you not being willing to make the first move. You're like, I just don't want to be making moves willy-nilly. I want the hint. I want the sign that it's time to go. I'm not going to go to the bus stop if the bus isn't coming. It's like that kind of vibe. You're waiting for some sort of reciprocation, maybe a hint of mutual interest in the way you want to move forward, mutual willingness, or even a sign from the universe. And you'll know what it is. I think it's more than just like a lady on the internet saying in a reading, like, it's time for you to make that move. I think it should be more than that. I think you may actually see a concrete sign in your waking life. I think intuitively, you know that the feelings are reciprocated, but I think you have a deep respect in divine timing and when is the right time for you to speak up or to move in some way. So because like this is a highly intuitive card, but it's also Taurus energy. So it's slow. It's not in any kind of rush. I mean, Aries is ready to move, but not just for no reason. You don't want to move in a chaotic way. You want to come in with dignity, I'm hearing. You want to be, I feel like this is an annoying thing to say, but like, demure and mindful. You want to come through with it in a sort of classy way or with dignity. Maybe there's an image, like there's some reason you are thinking about your image or just how you would be perceived. On your person side, we have the Wheel of Fortune and we have the 11th house. I feel that your person is maybe looking to expand their circle. There is a message that they want to be friends with you. In no way does that mean that this connection has to be strictly friendship, like if you want something more with this person, but they may be thinking about the friendship that exists between the two of you a lot right now. Maybe wanting to develop more platonic intimacy, not just, for example, I mean, I don't know the nature of your connection, but not just romantic. I want to have that kind of friendship with you too. Not just physical, not just professional, whatever it might be. I want to have this kind of, friendly and warm sort of connection with you as well. I want that platonic intimacy. I feel like that's something that is very important to them. They want to know more about your life. They want to know more about what you do. I think they're in an energy of being quite curious about you. When I look at this Wheel of Fortune, I feel like they think about you a lot and they kind of cycle through different thoughts. So maybe they'll have these periods where the way they think about you is very passionate, and then maybe they have these periods where they feel a bit defeated, and then they have these periods where they feel really good and confident, and then they're in the more platonic energy, and then they could be thinking about your work or wanting to work with you, and they kind of cycle through these different scenarios. They cycle through these different daydreams about how they could interact with you. And I'm hearing the possibilities are endless. They may actually be thinking a lot about what type of relationship they want to have with you. So I don't know if that hasn't really been clearly defined between the two of you yet, or Maybe they're just thinking about how they want to move forward with you. The fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune here, I feel like it is representing some desire that they have to change the existing dynamic between the two of you. Maybe they want to put a different label on your relationship, or they want to be able to call you by a certain name. You know, this is, rather than just saying, this is someone I talk to, or this is someone I know, or whatever it is, this is someone I dated, whatever it might be, they want to be able to say, like, this is my blank, this is my friend, this is my partner, this is my collaborator. They want to give you that kind of label. They want to give you that kind of position in their life. The fact that this is a major arcana, this is showing you are either a very significant person in their life right now, or they wish that you were. They want you to be that. Yeah, they may be thinking also about how they could get closer to you through some kind of thing or person that links you. So they might be thinking about your mutual friends, or thinking about common interests, or some third energy between the two of you that could help link you. And they also might, there's a feeling of oscillation with this person and cycling through different thoughts and different ideas. So sometimes they may be more in the energy of thinking of ways they could bring the two of you together, thinking, is there something that they can do? And then other times they're like, no, I feel like it's destined. Like, I feel like destiny's just gonna find a way to make it happen. I'm hearing like it has before. So maybe you've had some chance encounters with this person in the past, and I do think they believe that there's an element of destiny in your connection. They definitely feel it's destiny how you came together in the past. But yeah, it's like they're kind of wondering now, for our next encounter, am I supposed to do something? Or like, is destiny gonna make something happen? Is destiny even real? I feel like it is, but I don't know. Yeah, they're kind of cycling through these different thoughts right now. They may be kind of hinting things to their friends, or hinting things to people around them. Maybe like dropping hints that they think would help them get closer to you, or dropping hints that they want to see you again, or trying to indirectly make it happen. They're trying to make it happen indirectly. Yeah, then for the energy in between the two of you, we have the Knight of Swords, which I think I've already said this, but you're both thinking about each other very frequently. In a way, it's not just daydreaming, although it could be that sometimes. This looks more like brainstorming, because there's a literal brain on it. There's a light bulb, which is ideas. The sword, it means you want clarity. You want to have an epiphany, you're searching for an answer. So, you know, maybe sometimes you're just casually thinking about each other and letting your mind wander, but it feels like thinking about each other with a purpose. You have a mission. You're trying to figure out, what do I got to do to make this work? Or like, what is the next move? Do I make the next move? Do they make the next move? Maybe both of you kind of have this thought, consciously or subconsciously, of having to make the right move, as if you made the wrong move, or if you made a move at the wrong time, it could make things more difficult, or it could ruin a chance or something, you know? Okay, we're gonna get some more oracle cards. We have I didn't mean to disappoint you. I miss the small things. Oh my gosh, you make me feel grounded. Yeah, you guys are ready to ground this. You're like, I don't want to just be thinking about you forever. I want to actually be seeing you. I want to be grounding the things that I'm thinking about. I want to be doing the things that I want to do with you. I think both of you are ready to make this something, like I'm hearing something real, something tangible, something grounded. And I do think this is the energy that's brewing between the two of you. So you're grounding something, both of you right now. You're grounding something. Are you feeling like you might have disappointed this person, or are you feeling like you maybe disappointed the universe or your guides in some way? I'm not sure. If I put these two messages together, I see this visual of you giving your person a small gift and you feeling like, oh, they might be disappointed because it's so small. And they're like, no, I appreciate the little things. Maybe you feel like you should have given them something more and they want you to know that it was just enough and they appreciated it. Definitely. Oh, okay, bottom of the deck. I crave your kisses. I'm gonna just leave that here for to whom it may concern. I'm gonna leave this up here. And now I'm thinking of It's a Craving, Not a Crush. Billie Eilish. Lunch. Good song. Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Me writing it on a random page of my notebook, like I'm gonna be able to find it later. Let me dog ear that. Okay. I don't even remember what I was saying. Maybe you could, if you have, actually it doesn't matter if you have kissed them before, because it could just be thinking about it that makes them get kind of spaced out. Maybe sometimes someone's talking to them and they're like, what? Sorry, I was just kissing group one in my mind's eye. If this is not a romantic connection, just ignore me, but that's for somebody. Yeah, this is definitely a sign of them missing you, and it's not even those like big moments that they miss, big milestones or major dramatic events between the two of you. It's the little things. Just the little interactions or the casual hangouts that you may have had together in the past. In general, they could just be missing a simpler time of their life as well. Okay, so for the last part of this reading, we're gonna see how Spirit is helping each of you. So we'll start with you. How is Spirit helping you? And what is Spirit encouraging you to do in this connection? So I'm gonna shuffle until one card comes out. It's a house. So we have a planet, a house, and a sign. Jupiter in Sagittarius in the second house. So one of you could have Jupiter in Sagittarius or Jupiter in the second house, or you could be a Scorpio rising. Okay, this is what Spirit's helping you with, or what Spirit is encouraging you to do. Learn or teach your highest ideals patiently. Be positive about the rules of what you want. Grow and expand. Get it out to the world and get what you need. There could be a project that Spirit is helping you release, something that Spirit is helping you launch or publish, or a message that Spirit is helping you send out. Because if you send it out, you will get a favorable response. If you make it known that you want a certain opportunity, whether it's like an opportunity to get close to this person, it could even be an opportunity in your professional or study life, or a travel opportunity, any big opportunity that you want, if you make it known, if you submit something, if you apply something, Spirit is going to help you get what you need. For some of you, for those of you who want to travel, Spirit is helping you get the money to do so. Or if you're wanting to attend an event or further your education, Spirit will help you get the resources to do so. Be positive about the rules of what you want. So if you feel that there's any rules that are holding you back right now, any rules and regulations, Spirit wants you to know that either they're not going to restrain you or they're actually going to end up working in your favor. There are no rules in place that can hinder you. There are no rules in place that can stop you from getting what you want. And this includes rules of the universe. So for example, maybe you're thinking, I really want to manifest this, but maybe the universe has some rule that I can't have it. Maybe there's some energy working against me. I think Spirit just wants you to know that when it comes to this connection and really anything your heart desires, there are no rules or blockages or anything that is working against you. So they're either not going to touch you at all or they're going to end up actually working in your favor. So this is giving you permission to be optimistic about the way things will unfold. Learn or teach your highest ideals patiently. This feels like you being on a higher level of consciousness. This feels like you being awakened, but you may not be ready to really tell people about what you're experiencing, or you are in no rush to convince people of what you're going through. People will understand in time. So another piece of advice from Spirit is that you don't have, just because you awakened, it doesn't mean that you individually are responsible for everybody else's awakening. Maybe you're not the one to do that for them. They have their own journey. If you are not ready to talk about what you've went through with this higher level of consciousness, with this awakening, that's okay. I don't know, I just feel like maybe there's a part of you that's like, wow, I have all this new wisdom, I'm on this higher frequency, and now I have to tell people about it because it's my job to share this knowledge. And it's like, if you're not ready, that's okay. Or if you can't make someone else understand, if you can't help someone else see the light, that's okay. That's not really your responsibility. Maybe that's even towards your person or just in general. Maybe you can't really talk about this connection with other people because they just don't get it. Like they're not really on the same like wavelength of consciousness as you, and it won't make sense to them, and it doesn't have to. I think that's really what Spirit wants you to say. It doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. And so maybe not looking for external validation anymore, to like validate this connection. That could be very empowering. I don't need anyone else to validate it. It's like that kind of vibe. So let's turn these over now and see how Spirit is helping your person, or what they're encouraging your person to do. The granting of insights to understand your beliefs, blessings from the wisdom of what you value, good fortune resulting from the understanding of your resources. Seems like Spirit's trying to help your person get their money in check. Good fortune resulting from the understanding of your resources. So Spirit could be helping your person be more aware of their money habits and establish more long-term prosperity. Your person might kind of be worried about money, but for some of you, I feel like that's kind of a surprising message. They may not be worried in the immediate future, but maybe they're worried in the more long term. And that might be something that affects, when they're thinking about getting into a partnership, or when they're thinking about settling down. They might think, oh man, but I don't know what the long-term future holds for me. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have this lifestyle, or I don't know how long this financial situation is going to last. Like, what am I going to do in 5 years, 10 years? They're kind of thinking like that. And I think Spirit is saying, if you are smart with your resources, if you're smart with your money, and you make the right decisions, you'll be fine. So Spirit's trying to help them with money worries that might kind of be taking up a lot of their attention. Maybe also helping them overcome materialism. And there's nothing wrong with liking material things, but Spirit might see that the value this person places on material things is actually bringing them more stress than joy. This is just one example, but if someone felt, like, let's say someone felt pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle because they're like keeping up with the Joneses, or they feel like they have to prove to other people that they're doing well, so they always want to have like the newest thing or something like that. That type of relationship with material things will bring you more stress than joy, versus enjoying the finer things in life, but being comfortable with what you have and not letting those things control you. So maybe Spirit's helping them realize what really matters and to not value that kind of stuff anymore. Yeah, just come back to what really matters, and that's the wisdom that they're gaining. Their relationship with money, though, I feel like it's a product of maybe the household that they grew up in, or the community they grew up in, or something like that. I don't really think it comes from them. It's more like conditioning. So I think that Spirit's helping them with that conditioning, and that's also going to help them see their true worth outside of material things, outside of the money they make, even outside of their job, which I think is very important to them and may also be very important to this connection. And then the granting of insights to understand your beliefs. Okay, this is cool because I feel like your person is very spiritual, but they maybe they're not familiar with spiritual discourse, if that makes sense. So they might say, I don't know, I kind of feel like the universe is like this. And then they're explaining it and it's like, oh yeah, that's the theory of blah, blah, blah. Or, oh yeah, that's what we call blah, blah, blah in the spiritual community. And realizing that a lot of the musings that they have are kind of universal experiences that have been well documented, and that's going to make them feel less alone. And like, whoa, you mean I've had this spiritual knowledge this whole time and it's not just me having weird thoughts that don't mean anything? Like, it's a real thing. And they may be led to books or videos or led to some kind of education that helps them to make sense more of their spiritual beliefs and spiritual experiences. Both of you are going through awakening right now. They are kind of transcending materialism and remembering their true worth and gaining more spiritual knowledge. Ooh, okay. So I think that those are all of the messages for my group number 1. So we're going to go into the extended now, where we look at what your next encounter is going to be and who will initiate it. We're going to see how you will both feel after this encounter and 2 possible outcomes for this connection and what would be the thing to bring about each outcome, and any significant timeframes or places that you should know about pertaining to this connection. So if you would like to join me in the extended, I'm gonna have that link down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. However, if you're gonna leave the reading here, I wanna say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick a card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to you, your person, both of your higher selves, both of your guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the pink cat's eye, this is going to be your reading. A couple of messages that came through before I started filming. I was hearing the words back to back. I don't know what that means, but maybe that means something for someone. Maybe some events are happening in your life back to back, or it could be people, you know, their backs facing each other. And then there's also a message that someone is worried about losing their authenticity. So maybe someone's presented with an opportunity, or they're having some kind of growth or expansion in their life, and they're worried that that's going to come at the cost of their authenticity. So maybe that's just for a few of you. Maybe that's like a confirmation for a few of you that this is your group. But let's get into the reading. Where did I write it down? Okay, here it is. I have a list of everything that we're going to be looking at today. I just titled it What's Going On for now, because that's basically what we're going to be looking at, what's going on in this connection. So we are going to see your energy towards your person, what your thoughts have been of them recently, what your experience of the connection has been recently, and same thing for them, their energy towards you, what their thoughts of you have been recently, and what their experience of the connection has been recently. Then we're going to see what energy is currently brewing between the two of you. So this is like the potential that your connection currently has. And then we are going to see how spirit is helping each of you. So we will go through this for you, how spirit's helping you, and what spirit might be encouraging you to do right now, what advice spirit might have for you. And this could be pertaining to the connection, or just more broadly, what advice spirit wants to give you. And then same thing for your person. So how is spirit helping your person right now? What is spirit encouraging your person to do? And what advice would spirit give to your person? Then we also have an extended today where we are going to see your next encounter with your person and who is going to be the one to initiate this encounter, how you will both feel after it. And then we are going to see two possible outcomes for the connection and what would be the thing to bring about each possible outcome. And then finally, we're going to see any significant time frames or places that you should know about pertaining to this connection. So that is going to be the full reading today. Just before I get into the cards, I did want to use the pendulum today. So we're going to see if anyone has a message for you as we go into this reading. Does someone have a message for group number 2 before we get into the cards? Not in particular, so let's just get into your cards. Okay, what is going on with you right now? I'm feeling the energy of someone who is frustrated because they feel like another person is trying to rush their healing. It's as if somebody needs to heal so that they can repair a relationship, and the other party is being like, okay, well, when is that going to happen? And it's like, it doesn't work that way. When are you going to feel better? When are you going to repair the trust? Like, someone feels that another party is being understanding, is not being understanding. This could even be something that's happening within yourself. Like, you might feel that there's a part of you that's rushing your own healing, or your person might feel there's a part of them that's rushing their own healing, or one of you is kind of doing it to the other in some way. Okay. There's someone who doesn't want to be vulnerable about what's really going on with them, and that is hindering the relationship. So the example I'm seeing is like there's two people, and in this example, one person is being distant. They're not communicating that much. And the reason is because let's say they're going through a really tough period in terms of their mental health, and they're not being vulnerable about that. So they're just saying, I'm busy at work or something. And then that's kind of a lie. That's not the real reason, but that's the only information that the other party has. So then it becomes this argument about, well, is your work more important than me? Is your work more important than our relationship? And now we're having this argument over something that's not even true. Because it's like someone might have told a lie to try to diffuse a conflict, but it actually made the conflict worse. And now we're having a back and forth about something that's not even really based in truth. And it's all because someone didn't want to be vulnerable. And it's tricky because, like, maybe you don't feel ready to reveal that vulnerable thing. But just the way I see it is that I guess it's not even the unwillingness to be vulnerable that caused the problem. It was someone's attempt to cover up their vulnerability with a different narrative. And then it backfired. I feel like that's pretty specific, so. Okay. What is your current energy with regards to this connection? We have the Eight of Pentacles, your person's energy, the Sun, the energy brewing between the two of you is the Four of Wands. Okay, and then I'm also going to take clarifying oracle cards. So to yeah, that makes sense. To clarify your energy, we have fixed. To clarify their energy, we have sun again, sun. And that's so interesting. To clarify the energy between you, we have the ninth house. Okay, this is shaping up. And then just from one more deck, I missed the small things. I'm gonna put this down here so you can see, yeah, so you can see the word fixed. I can change, can you? It's not what you think it is. I feel like it goes like this. Yeah, I should have just laid them out in that order. Okay. The fact that you have the Four of Wands in between the two of you, many of you could actually already be in a relationship with this person or be in some sort of partnership with them. You could be married, you could be business partners, you could be dating. At the very least, I feel like this Four of Wands represents an emotional commitment that exists between the two of you. So even if you're not in a relationship, there's a feeling of emotional loyalty towards each other, and there's a feeling of my feelings towards you will not change. I care about you, I love you, I want you in my life, whatever it might be, and that's not going to change. So you need to know your feelings for each other won't change. There's a loyalty there. Even if the situation between you feels unstable, I think emotionally it is stable. There is some kind of commitment here. And I definitely think, just judging from the messages that I was channeling before we pulled the cards, it's likely that you are going through a bit of a conflict with this person, or things maybe have been kind of bumpy with them. But at the end of the day, I think both of you want things to change. Both of you want things to get better. You definitely have hope with this 9th house here, and you want to keep growing with this person. You want to keep growing with each other because this is the energy between the two of you. Your potential is that you can learn from each other. You can grow and evolve together. The potential looks beautiful. Like 4 of Wands, that's happiness. That's a joyous union. That's feeling comfortable and feeling safe with each other. Wish fulfillment. The 9th house is growth, expansion. It's also higher learning. So I feel like that indicates developing a greater understanding for each other. It's also being like optimistic and tolerant. So, you know, making peace with each other's differences. This is your potential. There does seem to be, could I call it fundamental? There's a difference between the two of you from what I'm seeing here. And I just saw 1122. I feel like you are someone who really understands that relationships are work. Even if this person is like the love of your life, your soulmate, and you're extremely compatible, it still takes effort. Like even the relationship with yourself takes so much freaking work. So of course, a relationship with a whole other person with their own preferences and their own past and their own brain wiring, I don't know how you say that, their own communication style, their own emotional processes, their own everything. Of course, that's going to be a whole other work too. And that doesn't mean the work has to be tedious. The work can be very enjoyable. The work can be very rewarding. It can be a very happy thing. So I think that's the way you see it. And then the way your person might okay. The way your person might see things is that was like a aha, by the way. Like, I get it, not like I'm laughing at them. The way that your person seems to see things is like, if this is the right person for me, it's going to be easy. If we're compatible, it means things are easy between us. And the thing that just came to me that I was like, aha, is that this may come from your person's childhood or upbringing. I don't want to speculate too much about their private life, but I kind of saw parents who have a lot of problems, but they don't show it, and they just pretend that everything's fine. And they just pretend to be like a perfect, happy couple. And so maybe growing up, your person didn't see that reality because they just saw a performance of, we're so happy, we don't argue, everything is so easy. And I get why you might want to do that. Like, you don't want to show your pain or your stress to other people. But I feel like inadvertently they might have internalized, like, see, that's what a relationship looks like. It's just sunshine and rainbows when you're with the right person. Does that make sense? I feel like, I don't know if maybe you can trace this back to your upbringing. This, like, something was instilled in you that like relationships are work and you have to like choose each other every day and you have to commit to getting to know each other every day. You know, people, this is a mutable card because it's Virgo energy, but you also have fixed energy. So it's like, we don't just fall in love once and then that's it. We don't just get to know each other once and then that's it, because people are dynamic. People change over time. People go through different seasons of their life. So we have to commit to getting to know each other over and over again. We have to commit to the work of understanding each other over and over again. Commit to knowing and respecting each other's boundaries over and over again, because those things change with age, with circumstances, with seasons of life, and etc. I feel like this is something you've put a lot of thought into, and so it's like, we might change, but our commitment to the relationship must stay fixed, and we must choose it again and again. And the fact that sun came out twice, that's so interesting. I think that like, even look at the difference between these two people. This is someone who looks very responsible and they're getting stuff done. And this is just someone who's like, yay, this looks like a finish line. And I'm thinking about marriage being a finish line, and maybe somebody thinking like, oh, I've already crossed the finish line and there's nothing to do now. Whereas this person sees marriage as this is where the real work starts now. There's just kind of a difference in views of relationships. And I don't think, like, it's not anything that can't be worked on. This is just a snapshot of your current energy and what might be causing some issues right now. Your person might also have the perception that things are easy because they don't see all the work that you're doing behind the scenes. And I'm seeing, as an example, a couple, and one of them is like, I think we should get a house cleaner because I'm just so tired. I'm so overwhelmed. And they're like, we don't need a house cleaner. Our house is always clean. And it's like, oh my, like, why do you think that is? It's because I'm cleaning the house all the time. Like, they might not really see the labor that you do behind the scenes. I don't know if invisible labor is a term, but some work being done behind the scenes that makes things easier for them. And then they're like, what do you mean? We don't need to work on the relationship thing. It's like, but the reason we're doing good is because we work on it. It's, that kind of like something's not clicking. That's kind of the vibe. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And I wondered when I saw this, it's not what you think it is. I wondered if they might be the one who is, there was that channeled message about someone hiding the real reason that they could be distant, but then their hiding that reason could be making things worse. So yeah, maybe your person is struggling with something that they don't tell you. And that might also be a difference in your views where they might think, this could even be a cultural thing, honestly. Like, just thinking about it, it doesn't have to be, but it may not necessarily be personal upbringing. It could be like being raised in a certain country or in a certain culture where I feel like they might think if you're struggling, you shouldn't burden other people with that, because that means you're just putting it on them, and your sadness or whatever you're going through, it's just going to rub off on them, and then that's selfish. Whereas you might see it as, if you're struggling with something, you should lean on your community because that makes your bond stronger, and the community is stronger when we all rely on each other. And if you love someone, you shouldn't be afraid to show when you're struggling. And that there might be that kind of difference there too. But it's not what you think it is. It's, the reason I behave this way, or the reason I've been not as forthcoming, or the reason I've been not as vulnerable. It's not what you think it is. So, and I hope the sun is an indication of them being more open soon, because the sun does shine its light on everything. It sheds light on things. It brings clarity. It brings understanding. So I hope that's an omen of them opening up. Okay. So we're going to see how Spirit is helping both of you. Starting with you. Oh, with this, I missed the small things. I feel like it may just be that there was a time in your connection where things felt simpler, where things felt easier. There may be little things that you used to do together that weren't like a special occasion. They weren't anything big or special, but that's what you really wanted. For example, I don't miss going on the lavish dates, or I don't miss going on the big trips. Like, I miss watching Netflix with you. I miss eating chips with you. Like, just those little everyday things. I miss playing board games. Just things like that. Okay, we have sign, planets, and house. Is that the right order? I think so. Okay, how is Spirit helping my group number 2s? We have Saturn in Capricorn in the 9th house. Okay, we have the 9th house twice. I wonder if perhaps I don't know if you know this person's birth chart, but maybe there's some kind of synastry with your 9th house. Like you might have a significant placement in their 9th house, or they might have a significant placement in your 9th house. One of you could have Saturn in Capricorn or Saturn in the 9th house, or you could be a Taurus rising, one or both of you. You don't have to be, but that's just for extra confirmation. Okay. So the message is for you. The maturity that brings dedication to achieve spiritual values. So Spirit is definitely encouraging you to keep your maturity and keep your discipline, which I don't think Spirit has to tell you this. This spirit that you have of, I'm just noticing there's green faces on both of these cards. Maybe someone's sick of something. Someone's sick of things being a certain way. Or you can also say someone's green with envy. I think there may be things about each other that make you frustrated, but deep down there could also be an envy that exists there that Spirit is encouraging you to look at. There may be a part of that quality the other person has that deep down you wish you could have. So just one example, but if someone was judging people who go out and party and like, oh, that's so stupid. Like, I prefer to stay home and read about philosophy. And it's like, maybe deep down, there's a part of them that wishes they could be carefree and wishes they could give themselves permission to just go and have fun and it doesn't have to be productive. Or maybe there's a part of them that wishes they had the confidence to, leave their house and go out with a bunch of other people. And then the party person is maybe like, you stay home and read, like you're such a nerd, you're such a pick-me, blah, blah, blah. And then deep down, they might actually envy, like, I wish I had the dedication to work on my self-development. I wish I was secure enough to stay home and I didn't have to go out with all these people for validation. Like, and these are just subjective experiences of each person, right? Each person is defining that activity in a different way. And it's all about their unique perspective. But maybe Spirit is encouraging, and honestly, I think this is for both of you, that, the frustration that you feel is valid, but to see the positive in the way the other behaves, or to see maybe there's something that you wish you could embody more as well. And to not see behaviors as black and white. Like in that example, like going to party, it's not inherently good and it's not inherently bad. It just depends on your relationship with it and what it means to you. Staying home and reading, it's not inherently good, it's not inherently bad. It depends on, same thing I just said. Your relationship with it and what it means to you and like why you're doing it. If it's what you really want to do, or if you're doing it like to feed your ego in some way. Yeah. Look at what you might envy in the other person. And you can embody more traits of the other person without sacrificing your own values or changing the foundation of who you are. Caution regarding focusing on long-range thinking or travel. Spirit may be saying that thinking so much about the future, especially thinking so much about the long-term future, could be doing more harm than good. It could be bringing unnecessary stress. I do think you're someone who is very responsible and who likes to plan ahead, and I think that has a lot of advantages and it will bring a lot of blessings into your life, but also knowing what is not yours to worry about and knowing what things in the future you can just leave for now. Like there's some times where you can just cross that bridge when you get there, and that might be something that you're not the best at, group number 2, and Spirit might want to see you be more spontaneous, or is suggesting that that might help with the success of this connection. Limits imposed. Whoa, okay, wait. Sometimes these are confusing. Limits imposed resulting from the rules imposed by what is to be shared. Okay, so we might be, I'm hearing the word stickler. I don't even know if that's what that word means. Someone who sticks to things? I don't know. Someone who really wants to stick to the rules. There may be a little bit of rigidity in you guys, group number 2. I have a lot of this as well. I get very rigidly stuck to my plans, and then when the smallest thing comes and interrupts my plans or something gets delayed, I get quite uneasy and like worry that I'm not going to get something done, or worry that I'm wasting time, or it's just it's a thing that my brain does, and a thing that you can get over. I think Spirit may also be suggesting that wanting to stick so much within guidelines or within rules or within a schedule could be causing more harm than good, or again causing unnecessary stress. Let's look at your person's messages from Spirit. Be realistic about your goals as if it or they came from all there is. Be realistic about your goals. Maybe they have some big lofty goals that are taking them away from it kind of seems like you might zoom in on details and that takes you away from the present moment, and then they have these big lofty ideas that take them out of the present moment. Spirit's asking both of you to come back to the present and just be with each other. Be concerned about the day-to-day reality. Spirit's literally encouraging them to be concerned about the day-to-day reality and trying to help them learn to do this. And I feel like that's why you might get stuck dealing with all the details of the day-to-day. Be concerned about the day-to-day reality of the philosophies and laws involved. It's like you are too concerned about rules or structures, and they're not concerned enough in order to be in a harmonious union. You must wait before you can use the most business-like way and do it in a big way. They're trying to make it big somehow, or they have some big idea, and it's taking them out of the present moment. It's taking them out of the day-to-day. They may not realize why this goal is so important to them even. They just feel like they have to do it. If they knew what was driving them, they would have a more realistic view about it. But some big idea or big goal might take them away from the connection in some way, or they might wish that you would just be a supporter of them rather than be realistic, or rather than ask, like, you might ask questions about their goal because you want to know more about it, and then they feel like you're questioning the validity of their goal, and they don't want you to ask questions. They just want you to be supportive. They definitely are being encouraged by Spirit, and Spirit's helping them to learn to come back to reality and to come back to the present moment and to come back to the day-to-day and to understand their responsibilities there. You know, if you want to achieve these big goals, you have to start with the small day-to-day things. And then I think in your case, and you're kind of interdependent on each other to balance out your energies, because, you know, if you want to like loosen up more and look at the bigger picture more and be more spontaneous, then they will have to take on some of the slack, you know? And if they want to start taking on more responsibilities and start being more active and more present in the day-to-day, you have to be willing to let go of some things, let go of control of some things. So you kind of depend on each other to each make these individual changes and balance each other out. Okay, and this, yeah, even just getting to the end of this reading, it does feel like someone you're actively in a relationship with. And because you're working together on your personal development. You know, this could be something that's happening energetically, but a lot of the time when I was channeling these messages, it did give the feeling of a couple, or, you know, people who what you do in your day-to-day life directly affects each other at the very least. It was that kind of vibe. So these are all of the messages for my group number 2s. We are going to go into the extended now. For my group number 2s, I'm kind of feeling called for your extended reading to look at the next heart-to-heart, or like the next open and like productive conversation that you will have with this person. Who will be the one to initiate it, how you will both feel afterwards, 2 possible outcomes, and what would be the thing to bring about each of those 2 outcomes, and then any significant timeframes or places that you should know about. So if you would like to join me in the extended, that's going to be linked down below in the description, as well as in the pinned comment of this video. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings just like this one. And you can also decide on topics for future readings. I will link my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video. That is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here. And I'm sending so much love to both of you, to both of your higher selves, your spirit guides, your spiritual teams, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 3s, so if you guys chose the Opalite, this is going to be a reading. A couple of things I wanted to mention, just intuitive messages that were popping up before we get into your reading. First of all, the dynamic between you and your person is very sweet, and I was seeing 2 specific interactions play out, so I wanted to mention them. These might be a confirmation for you if you have already had this interaction with your person, or if it sounds like something that would happen between the 2 of you. So the first one was that there's one of you who is trying to flirt. So you're trying to say something like, and be smooth about it and be like sexy. But then as soon as it leaves the person's mouth, like both people realize how dumb it sounds, and then both people just burst out laughing. It's like, were you just trying to flirt? Like, were you trying to be sexy? So that was the first thing. And I kind of saw that as a defining moment in the connection, because it sort of represents a moment where the ice was broken, or where any sort of nervousness or tension is just completely squashed between the 2 of you. And now you can just laugh together and laugh at yourselves together. And then the other one was one of you helping the other get over an irrational dislike for something. So, you know, sometimes people just dislike things even when they haven't really given it a chance. For example, they might say like, oh, I don't like that singer. And it's like, have you ever like really listened to their album? No. I don't like that food. Well, have you tried it this way? Have you tried it that way? No, I just don't like it. You know, sometimes people stubbornly just think they don't like something. And so something I saw with your connection is that one of you would like help the other get over a sort of irrational or stubborn dislike of something. So imagine someone going from, oh, I don't like that musician, like I don't understand how anyone likes them, to like being in the front row and screaming all the lyrics. Like that's kind of the vibe. And it's like, see, you just had to give it a chance. And I just saw 222 as well. So yeah, if that has literally happened between you and your person already, or if you're like, yeah, that sounds like us, that sounds like something that would happen, then that could be a confirmation that this is your group. Maybe that's just for some of you, but I thought I would mention those. So here is the list of everything we're going to be looking at in today's reading. I've just titled it What's Going On for now. And I say, hey, yeah. I didn't think about that for the other groups, but that just came to me for you guys. What's going on? Anyway, so yeah, that's basically what we're gonna look at in this reading. What's going on in this connection? We're gonna look at your energy towards your person, what your thoughts of them have been recently, what your experience of the connection has been, and same thing for them, their energy towards you, their thoughts of you recently, their recent experience of the connection, and what energy is currently brewing between the two of you. So that's like, what potential does your connection currently have? And then we're gonna see how spirit is helping you right now within this connection, or just how spirit's helping you in general. What is spirit encouraging you to do? And same thing for them. How is spirit helping them? And what is spirit encouraging them to do? We also have an extended today where we're going to see what your next encounter with your person will be and who is going to be the one to initiate it. We're going to see how both of you feel after this encounter and 2 possible outcomes of this connection, and what would be the thing to bring about each of those 2 possible outcomes. And then finally, any significant timeframes or places pertaining to this connection that you should know about. So that's the reading that we're going to be doing today. Thank you so much for being here. Just before we get into the cards, I wanted to try using the pendulum. She did have a message for group 1. She didn't have a message for group 2. So let's see if she has a message for you. Does someone have a message for group 3? Oops. Before we get into the reading. Okay, same as group number 1. Your person's spirit guides have a message for you. What is the message about? Your spirit guides. Maybe they want you to know that your guides and their guides are working together, or that your guides are their guides and their guides are your guides. That might be a confirmation for some of you. Let's see. What do the guides, want us to know? Okay, so Jupiter just came out on the die. I wish that was on camera, but I dropped it. Like, instead of throwing the die intentionally, I slipped and dropped it. And it was literally like at the very edge of the table. Like it was gonna fall off, and then it just stopped at the last minute. So, and Jupiter represents blessings and good luck. So there could be a message about you just barely making it. Like you're the last person on the plane before it takes off and you just barely made it on. Or the date that something is going to be scheduled, you're just barely going to be able to make it. Imagine you're going out of town on the 6th, and then your person asks to see you on the 5th, and it's like you can just make it. Or yeah, it's like you're just narrowly getting something. And it might feel like that for you. It might feel like, oh my gosh, I could have missed this opportunity. That's what it might feel like. But your guides are saying, no, it was meant for you. That's why you got it. That's why we squeezed you in. That's why we pulled the strings and we made it work. You could also be receiving good luck by something you did that you perceived was a mistake. You did something by accident, or you did something carelessly, but then it actually led to a big blessing for you. Interesting. For some reason, the example I'm thinking about is like, if you meant to text your friend, but then you accidentally texted this person, even though you were trying not to talk to them for some reason, and you accidentally texted them and you're like, oh shit. And then you're like, sorry, that was for someone else. And they're like, oh no, it's okay. Actually, it's really weird that happened because I was just thinking about you and blah, 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 you know? So like an accident leading to a blessing, or a mistake leading to a blessing. I feel like that's a message that your guides want you to know. And we also have Cancer. Ooh, Jupiter is going to be in Cancer. At the time that I'm filming this, it's not yet, but it's going to enter Cancer on, I want to say June 2025. And it's going to be there for about a year. So by the time you're seeing this, maybe Jupiter's already in Cancer, but I feel like Jupiter in Cancer is going to be a significant period for this connection, where you're getting closer to each other, your bond is deepening, and just a blessed period for you in general. Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer as well, so this is a very auspicious combination. I would say that you and your person have your own spirit guides, but they are kind of working together as a larger team, if that makes sense. The more the merrier. When we put our heads together, we can do great things. Both of your guides view this connection favorably. Both of your guides view this union favorably. In case there was any doubt about that, I don't know why you would doubt it, but the brain is a funny thing like that sometimes. So yeah, I feel like that was a little message from both of your guides. Okay, let's get into the cards. I just looked up and saw 9:27 on the camera timer. So for somebody out there, September 27th could be a significant date. Okay, so your energy is coming through as the Ten of Swords. Their energy is coming through as the Two of Wands. The energy between the two of you is the World. I like all the animals. That's very cute. I'm just gonna hold this up close in case any of the animals you see here are, you know, a significant spirit animal for you, or maybe someone here looks like a companion animal of yours. And then I'm gonna get some clarifying oracle cards too. To clarify your energy, we have Taurus. To clarify your person's energy, we have the 5th house. And to clarify the energy between the two of you, we have Cardinal. And we have I Desire You. I'm sorry for what happened. And, oof, okay. In the middle, for the energy between the two of you, I choose you. All I want is you. That's a mutual statement because this one is in the middle. I choose you. All I want is you. Okay. We got it's a strong bond for sure, group number 3. So we're going to start with your energy. When I look at your 10 of Swords, it does look that there's some way you are betraying yourself within this connection, or a betrayal of a certain aspect of yourself could be hindering this connection. It's not making the connection any weaker, but it could be stopping things from moving forward. It looks like your thoughts are betraying your emotions, or your thoughts are getting in the way. It's like you're telling yourself something that is different from how you truly feel. I think this is how you truly feel. Like you want this person. I wonder if you've been trying to practice detachment, but doing so in a way that feels inauthentic, because detachment, it's like you may be going about detachment in a way where you feel like you have to lie to yourself and say that you don't really want this person, but that may not be the detachment that we need. Maybe it's not about saying I don't want it, it's about saying I know that I'm gonna be okay either way, kind of thing. That's not the same thing as not wanting something. I know that I'm gonna be happy either way. I know that I'm lovable either way. I know that I'm valid either way. Detachment means we don't want to attach any kind of our self-worth on the other person, or like our happiness depends on them, or our happiness depends on this thing happening. Doesn't mean we lie to ourselves that like, I don't want it, I don't care. And it's so funny because I thought I was giving a random example at the start of this reading where I was like, you're trying not to talk to this person, but then you accidentally text them. And I was like, why? You're trying not to talk to them. So I don't know. Are you trying not to think about them? Are you trying to like not reach out to them? Are you holding back in some way? Even looking at these swords, the way they're in your arm, these are your own thoughts. It's your own inner critic. And it's like, maybe when you try to reach out, your inner critic's like, and stabs into you. The shells, I think, represent your true emotions. Some of you, depending on the situation, you may be trying to convince yourself that it's over. You don't care about something anymore, or this is all there's gonna be. We're not taking this any farther. Like, I'm done with this. But again, I think it's not because you don't want this person. It may be you're like trying not to expect anything, or you're trying not to get your hopes up. It's kind of going about detachment in a way that feels like stifling yourself, or just in a way that feels inauthentic. With Taurus energy here, I desire you, Taurus. It definitely seems like you're longing for a physical connection with this person, a 3D physical connection with them. Maybe you're really wanting to see them in person. Maybe you're wanting to touch them, like, you know, to be able to reach out and touch them. Maybe you're desiring to be like physically intimate with them or something, if it's that kind of connection. Because Taurus is Venusian energy, you know. But Taurus can also represent groundedness and practicality. And so I think another interpretation of this is that you might be being a little bit inauthentic with your emotions for the sake of trying to be practical or trying to be realistic. There may be some aspect about this connection and you coming together with this person that you would deem as impractical. Like, how would that even happen? Or you would deem it as unrealistic. And so you might say like, oh, I'm just being realistic. But it's being shown as a betrayal with this Ten of Swords, a betrayal to your true emotions, a betrayal to your desire, and you're the one who's suffering from it. That's the kicker, is that you are the one who suffers when you betray yourself. Nobody benefits and you suffer. Okay, see, this is detachment. I think your person seems to be detached in a way that doesn't hurt them, and in a way where they don't have to lie to themselves. Because the Two of Wands, it's, you know, it can represent having options and having adjacent possibilities. And I'm not saying that as soon as I said that, I was like, oh shit, that sounds misleading of what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say your person has other options or something like that, or that they're, you know, perusing other options. But I wanted to say they've really reached a place where they feel that they're going to be happy either way. So they don't have to lie to themselves that they don't care about their desires for you, or that they don't want to see you, or that they don't want to be with you. They're like, I do want to, but also I'm not going to be like devastated if it doesn't happen. I'm going to be happy either way. Because you just got to be, you know, you got to reach a place for your own well-being. And there's something else I wanted to say, but now I can't think about it. Oh man. If it's relevant, it will come back. Oh, that's so frustrating though, because I feel like it's right there. I feel like it's right there on the tip of my tongue and I can't reach it. I wonder if that's a sign for some of you. It's like wanting to say something to this person, but not having the words, or like, how would I even begin to say that? Or this frustrating feeling of being right on the precipice, like being right on the edge of something, being so close and it's just not coming, you know? There's that kind of feeling perhaps. Oh man, I really wish I remembered what I was going to say. But anyway, I think they have reached a place where they are happy either way. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. You know, they might also feel that same, not like unrealistic, but they might think that it's improbable that they would get their desired outcome, which is to be with you, for whatever reason. For some reason, they think it's improbable, but they don't link that to, okay, then let me get my hopes down, which I think you might be doing that. Like, this is improbable, so I'm not gonna wish for it. Whereas I feel like they're more in a mindset where they're like, yeah, it's probably not gonna happen, but I wanna say a guy can dream, but it doesn't have to be a guy, but a girl can dream, a person can dream. I feel like they're more in that mentality, so they're being very open with themselves about wanting it. And it's funny, because it's kind of ironic, eh? Like, the more you're attached to something, the less you can be honest with yourself that you want it, because it just hurts too much. So the more attached you are, the more you're gonna try to suppress the desire. Funny, eh? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You want it so badly that wanting it is an unpleasant experience, and so you stifle it and then you never get it. Whereas they are not really attached in the same way, so it doesn't hurt to explore their desires, and then they don't suppress it. And then hopefully they can get what they want. I mean, if you want them to get you, you know, that's the kind of detachment where you can really co-create with the universe. And it's just, it just comes down, and it's not even a matter of like you want it more than them. Or they want it less. It's I want it, but I also know that Spirit's gonna take care of me regardless, and I'm gonna be happy whatever happens. If you can reach that place, that's where the magic is gonna happen. And yeah, I do think there's a lot of indications of the desire being mutual, the way the hands are reaching towards each other. the yellow wants the blue wants the yellow. And the world is an indication of reciprocated feelings as well when it comes out in this position. And this could also be, you may both feel about each other like you are the whole package, because there's a sense of wholeness and completeness with the world too. And also admiration, being very impressed by the other person. Like if we were together, I would show you off all the time. I would want everyone to know. That, you know, being very proud, wanting to show you off. Even if, like, let's say you're even just friends at this point, they're still probably wanting to show you off. Like, look at this. This is my friend. Look at what they're doing. Look at how cool they are. And you might want to do the same thing. I also notice we have, this is a 1 card because, like, it's a 10. That reduces to 1. This is a 2. And then this is a 21. So we have like 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 12, 12, 21, 21, anything like that. Any dates with those numbers, like December 21st or January 12th, you know, anything with 2s and 1s basically. And I also just looked up and saw 2244. So dates with 2s and 4s could be significant as well, like April 2nd, April 22nd, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm not going to list all of those dates, but April 12th. Okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. So yeah, it's mutual feelings. I also think, you know, the fact that there's so many animals here, the energy that's brewing and the potential, now I'm thinking about Animals by Nickelback, which is such a banger. I don't understand the hate. I don't. That's like a go-to at karaoke. I love that song. It's very silly. The lyrics are very cringe. Chad Kroeger is a perfect example of someone who tries to say sexy things and it's like, anyway, so I do think that these animals are a sign, because animals, they're just being their natural self. They're not judging you. They don't care how much money you make. They don't care if you're being cringe. They just want your companionship. And I think that's at the core, that's truly how you feel about each other, that you can be your most natural self and just love each other's essence and not judge each other for worldly things. I don't know. That's what I feel when I look at all of these animals. That's the potential that's brewing between the two of you. And if that's brewing between the two of you, it means that it's brewing within yourselves individually. It means that both of you are in a process of getting more in touch with yourself, with your nature. I want to say essence again, in touch with your essence, in touch with your body, you know, and not using worldly standards to judge yourself, whether that's a beauty standard, because all of these animals look very different, but they're all beautiful. The moment we start to say the beauty standard is a long trunk, well, then all these other animals are, well, this guy could still eat, but like, it's not fair because they're all unique and beautiful. So I think both of you are going through a journey of, you're quitting the comparisons to others and loving yourself for how you naturally are. And so because you're cultivating that within yourselves, that's the dynamic that you can create together. Because if you have the capacity to love and accept someone as they are, and you truly are doing that, then it just follows that you extend that same compassion to yourself. Because you are both humanity. You are both the beauty of humanity, and you cannot recognize that in another and not recognize it in yourself, you know? So, yeah, you can't recognize the humanity in another without recognizing in yourself, the same way you cannot dehumanize another without dehumanizing yourself. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Let's go down here and see what's going on. So we talked about your Taurus. We talked about your Taurus energy. This makes a lot of sense for your person, 5th house, because it's an energy of joy and enjoyment and having fun with it. I think this person has a lot of fun Okay, so I was gonna say this person has a lot of fun when they're with you, when they get to see you. And then I also heard like this person has a lot of fun with you in their head, like in their own thoughts, in their own fantasies. So that's a message for you. We have, I'm sorry for what happened. So there may be a past interaction that your person regrets, whether you remember it or not, whether you felt something bad happened or not. That's just their subjective experience. I feel like maybe they're wishing that they had extended themselves more, and it could be something so small, but just wishing they had communicated more, that they had been more vocal, that they had engaged with you more. For some reason, I'm seeing an instance where you complimented them and they said thank you, and now they're like, damn, I should have complimented them back because I was totally thinking it. It's like there's something that they were thinking but they didn't say it, and they're like, oh, I hope I didn't come across as rude or uninterested, or yeah, I think it's something they didn't say. They don't regret something they said, they regret something they didn't say. They regret or something they didn't do. Yeah, which in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it's a huge deal, but I think they're like, oh, that was a chance to let group number 3 know how amazing I think they are. And I don't know, maybe they got nervous. I don't know. And then cardinal, that feels like something getting set into motion, because cardinal is the one that propels forward. That's what the cardinal energy does. So we're moving towards a completion of some kind. We're moving towards the end of a cycle of some kind. And I really feel like detachment and self-acceptance is like the last little piece of the puzzle. Okay, let's get our messages from Spirit. We're gonna start with the messages for you. We are going to see how Spirit is helping you on this journey. So we have a planet, house, and a sign. Oh wait, that should go this way. The North Node in Gemini in the first house. The North Node already left Gemini like a few years ago, and I don't think it's going to be back for a very long time. But I will make a note. I don't have my phone with me right now. I'll make a note to see when the North Node was previously in Gemini, because maybe something happened around those years, and like that could be a confirmation for some of you. I'll put it in a subtitle here. One of you could have the North Node in Gemini, or you could have the North Node in the first house. If you know this person's birth chart, you might have some interesting synastry with your nodes. So like maybe one of you has a node in the other's first house, or vice versa. And that's an indication of like a fated connection. One of you could be a Gemini rising as well, Gemini in the first house. You don't have to be, but these are just extra confirmations. That goes like this. So this is the messages and advice from Spirit to you. There will be information to explain who you are. So perhaps you're feeling like that's not the right word. Out of the interactions you've had with your person up until now, you maybe feel like you didn't really have a chance to show them who you truly are, or maybe your true self didn't really come through as much as you would have liked it to. This could also be an instance where you've been going through a lot of healing and a lot of changing, and you feel like the version you are now is much more in alignment with your highest authentic self. And so you may be feeling like, I want to see them again, because I feel like when I met them last time, maybe, I don't know, I was less evolved, or I was just going through this and that, and I wasn't really in alignment with my true self. And now that I've gone through this glow up and I've gone through this transformation, like I want to yeah, I want to see them again. I want them to see the new and like more aligned version of me. And so I think Spirit is saying that there will be a chance for you to do that. And there will be a chance for you to let them get to know you. Because I think you really would like them to know you and know your true self. Success. Oh, I like this one. Success from communications about your desires. Sometimes the phrases on here are like super confusing, but this is very straightforward. If you communicate about your desires, there will be success. Period. That's what Spirit wants you to know. Benefit resulting from the fluctuations of your actions. So you've actually been guided by Spirit this whole time, group number 3. So you may kind of fluctuate where sometimes you're being more assertive, you're taking more action. Other times you're kind of holding back. And then maybe in your head, you're indecisive about like, what's the right way to be doing this? And Spirit is saying, well, it depends. It depends on the situation. And you've actually been acting in alignment this whole time. You've been guided this whole time. In the periods where you were taking more action and you were putting yourself out there more, that was divinely guided. And then also when you were holding back and just like waiting and being more in a passive or receptive energy, that was also divinely guided. So, you know, it's not a one energy fits all for every situation. And so just trust in those fluctuations. Trust when you feel the call to do more, when you feel the call to sit back, trust that that's divinely guided. Okay, and now let's get the messages from Spirit to your person. Ooh. Have faith in what you want to be known immediately. Okay. Your person's got to speak up too. I feel like both of you, Spirit is calling on both of you to speak up, to make your desires known, whether that's to each other, whether that's to a third energy in this situation. Do not worry about what is believed about the way you project yourself. So I feel like that kind of goes back to this, I'm sorry for what happened. And I feel like it kind of confirms whatever they're regretting was maybe not a huge deal for you. I'm also thinking of a situation where you, and maybe this is just metaphorical, where like you gave them a present and they're like, oh my gosh, I love it, thank you. And they have like the biggest smile on their face. And then later they're like, oh, was that bad? Like I didn't get them a present. I didn't get them one back. I should have given them something too. I feel bad that they got me something and I didn't get them something. And they just like really regret it. And they feel so apologetic about it. Meanwhile, you're over here like, they liked my gift. They were smiling and they said they like it and they said thank you. And like you're just on cloud 9. You're not thinking like, they should have got me one too. Not that there's anything wrong with expecting something in return, but you were not even on that, the way they're imagining you being like upset, you're not even, you're like, the gift in return was seeing you smile. The gift in return was you liking it. Yeah, you know, like, I'm just happy to be here. I feel like that was genuinely, like really genuinely your vibe. So whatever they're apologetic about is like, you probably would be like, oh, you wouldn't even, I don't think you're holding a grudge about whatever it is they were worried about. So I think Spirit would say to your person to not worry about how they've maybe been perceived by you in the past, because I think you've really perceived this person very positively. And I'm also feeling this sort of energy of like, you're worried about how I perceive you? I'm worried about how you perceive me. What do you mean? Like, why would you be worried? You know? I don't know who's saying that, but that just came through. Now is the time to use the why did my mind go there? I'm so sorry. Now is the time to use the quickest way and do it on your own. We're not going to get into that, but I think what this was probably trying to say is if you want something done faster, you should take some action. That's Spirit's message to your person. Maybe that's even Spirit's message to you. So it's like, if you're in a receptive energy and you don't really take action, it's still gonna happen. Your desired outcome is still gonna happen, but you could nudge things along if you took the initiative to do something on your own. I don't know why I'm thinking about this example, but it's like, it would be faster if you ordered food, it might actually be faster to go pick it up yourself. If you select the delivery option, you're still going to get the food, but then it just might take longer for the other person to bring it to you. You know, if you do it yourself, it can be faster. Yeah, and I think that's a message for both of you, actually. So yeah, I think those are all the messages for my group number 3s. So we are going to go into the extended now, where we get to, I'm excited for this one. We get to see your deck's interaction. Here she is. I keep like flipping the pages of my notebook and then forgetting where stuff is. Your next encounter and who is going to be the one to initiate that, how you will both feel afterwards, and 2 possible outcomes for this connection and what would be the thing to bring about each of those possible outcomes. And then finally, we're going to see significant timeframes or both significant timeframes and significant places that you should know about pertaining to this connection. So that is going to be the extended, and it's going to be linked down below in the description and in the pinned comment if you would like to join me there. However, if you're going to leave the reading here, I want to say thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have a link down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my Patreon, where you can watch tons of timeless, exclusive pick-a-card readings just like this one. You can also decide on topics for future readings. My music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. And finally, my vlog channel and my merch, which features the floating temple that was at the start of this video. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really, really appreciate having you here, and I am sending so much love to you, your person, both of your higher selves, both of your guides who are both working together, any animals you may have or who are around you in spirit, and your spiritual teams and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.